There's a moment in every traffic stop that determines whether you drive away with a warning or leave in handcuffs. And if you're carrying concealed, that moment happens before the officer even reaches your window. We're about to watch body cam footage of a routine stop that went sideways, not because the driver did anything illegal, but because of what he said, or rather, what he didn't say. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact first sentence that protects you, the 6 words that can get you arrested, and why the law in one state could, in the next, this decision, in the next 10 seconds, of a traffic stop could change your life. Let's break down what actually works, what doesn't, and how to keep yourself safe legally and physically when those blue lights come on behind you. Body cam footage starts at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. A driver in a dark sedan has just committed a minor traffic, failed to signal a lane change. The officer activates his brights and the driver pulls over to the shoulder. So far, textbook. But here's what the officer doesn't know yet. This driver has a concealed handgun holstered on his right hip. He's licensed and he's legal. He's done nothing wrong. And in the next 34 seconds, he's about to make a mistake that turns a routine stop into a felony investigation. Let's freeze the frame right here. The officer is still in his cruiser, running the plate. The driver's hands are on the steering wheel. This is the critical window. The moment when you decide what to say and how to say it. Now, let's talk about what the law actually requires. 22 states plus the District of Columbia have what's called a duty to inform law. That means if you're carrying concealed and you have an official encounter with law enforcement, including a traffic stop, you are legally required to tell the officer you're armed. In some of these states, you must disclose immediately upon contact in others. You must inform when the officer asks for identification. Failure to do so can result in fines, permit suspension, or even criminal charges. The states with a duty to inform include Alaska, Arkansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, North Carolina, Texas, and others. But here's where it gets tricky. Some states only require disclosure if the officer specifically asks. Florida, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Virginia fall into this category. And then there are states with no duty to inform at all. Colorado, Georgia, Idaho, and others where you're not required to volunteer anything. This was patchwork of laws is why the first sentence you say matters so much. Back to our body cam footage. The officer approaches the driver's side window. The driver rolls it down, keeps his hands on the wheel, and waits. Officer, evening license and registration, please. Driver, sure, officer. They're in my glove box. Let me just reach over and stop right there. That driver just made 2 critical mistakes in under 10 seconds. First, he moved to reach for documents without being instructed to do so from the officer's perspective. That movement could be reaching for a weapon. Second, he never disclosed that he was carrying. If this happened in a duty to inform state, that silence could be a crime. Here's what he should have said. Instead, the first sentence that protects you is calm, clear, and informational. It is not an announcement that you have a gun. That language can spook It's a professional notification that you are licensed carrier. Try. This officer, I want to inform you that I have a valid concealed carry permit, and I am currently carrying. Then pause. Wait for instructions. Then state where the firearm is located. It's holstered on my right hip. Then ask, how would you like me to proceed? That's it. That's the script. Notice what you didn't say. I have a gun. You didn't reach for anything. You didn't make sudden movements. You simply provided information the officer needs to know. For everyone's safety, let me be clear about something, even if your state doesn't require disclosure. Many legal experts recommend voluntary notification as a courtesy. Why? Because when an officer runs your plate, they often see that you have a concealed carry permit. If you don't mention it and they already know it can look like you were trying to hide something. Voluntary disclosure builds trust and de-escalates tension before it starts. Now, let's watch what happens next in our body cam footage, this time the correct approach. Driver officer, I want to inform you that I have a valid concealed carry permit, and I am currently carrying. It's holstered on my right hip. How would you like me to proceed? Officer? Okay, thank you for telling me. Don't reach for it. Where's your license? Registration. Driver in the glove box. Officer, reach slowly and get them. For me. That's how a professional interaction looks. The officer was informed, the driver was compliant, and the stop continued without escalation. But here's something most people don't realize: the duty to inform isn't the only legal issue at play during a traffic stop. There's also the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, which protects you from being compelled to be a witness against yourself. And let's say the officer starts asking questions that go beyond the traffic stop. Officer, so where are you headed tonight? You've been drinking. What's in the back seat? You are not required to answer these questions under the Fifth Amendment. You have the right to remain silent. Here's the nuance. In a routine traffic stop, you are not considered in custody for Miranda purposes. That means the officer doesn't have to read you your rights before asking these questions. You still have the right to remain silent. You just have to invoke it. A clear, polite way to do. This officer, I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent. Remain silent. That's invoking your Fifth Amendment right. Once you said that the officer should stop asking investigative questions. If they continue, you can repeat it or ask for a lawyer. This connects to another critical right, Sixth Amendment right to counsel if the questioning becomes custodial, meaning you're not free to leave. You can say, I want to speak to a lawyer before I answer anything. But let's be practical. Most traffic stops don't escalate your callants and intafterants to that level. Most officers are professionals doing a dangerous job according to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial. 9 officers were killed by firearms during traffic stops in 2024. Another 17 were killed by vehicles during traffic enforcement officers are on high alert during every stop, and your behavior directly affects how they perceive the situation. That's why The first sentence is so important. It signals that you're a responsible, law-abiding carrier who understands the gravity of the situation. It sets a cooperative tone from the very beginning. Now, let's talk about a case that every concealed carrier should know. Terry v. Ohio 392 U.S. 1, 1968. This Supreme Court decision established that an officer can conduct a limited pat-down search for weapons if they have reasonable suspicion that a person is armed and dangerous during a traffic stop. If an officer has reasonable suspicion that they may conduct a protective frisk. But here's the discussion key. Mere possession of a concealed weapon in a state where it's legal does not by itself give an officer probable cause to search your vehicle. The officer needs additional facts, something beyond the legal carry itself. Also, Pennsylvania v. Mims 434 U.S. 106, 1977, which allows an officer to order a driver out of the vehicle during a traffic stop for officer safety. This is considered reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. At most, a mere inconvenience if an officer asks you to step out. Comply. Don't argue. The time to challenge the legality of the stop is in court, not on the side of the road. And here's a lesser Hyen v. North Carolina 574. U.S. 54, 2014. In that case, the Supreme Court held that a traffic stop can be justified even if the officer made a reasonable mistake of law. That means if an officer stops you because they think you broke a law, even if they're wrong, the stop may still be constitutional if the mistake was reasonable. This is why you never argue about the reason for the stop during the stop itself. So, what does all this mean for you? Let's dive into it together. Me give you a complete protocol for a concealed carry. Traffic stop. Step 1. Pull over safely. Signal find a well-lit area if possible. And stop. Step 2. Stay in your vehicle. Do not get out unless instructed. Step 3. Prepare the scene. Turn off the engine. Roll down all windows, and if it's dark, turn on your interior lights. Step 4. Keep your hands visible. Place both hands on the steering wheel at 10 and 2. Do not reach for your license, registration, or anything else until the officer instructs you to. Step 5. Communicate clearly when the officer approaches. Deliver that first sentence. Officer, I have a valid concealed carry permit, and I am currently carrying. Then state the location of the firearm and ask how they'd like you to proceed. Step 6. Follow instructions if the officer asks you to step out. Do so if they ask you to hand over your permit. Do so slowly and deliberately. Never touch your firearm unless specifically directed to do so. Step 7. Know your rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to refuse a search of your vehicle, though. You should say, so clearly, I do not consent to a search of my vehicle. You have the right to ask if you're being detained, or you're free to go. But here's the most important thing. The traffic stop is not the place to assert your rights aggressively. The goal is to get through the interaction safely and deal with any legal issues afterward with an attorney. Now let me give you the exact words to say in 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1. Duty to inform state your carrying officer approaches you. Say, Officer, I want to inform you that I have a valid concealed carry permit, and I am currently carrying. It's holstered on my right hip. How would you like to see that gun right now? Scenario 2. No duty to inform state. You're carrying. You can choose to disclose or not. If you choose to disclose, use the same language. You choose not to keep your hands visible and answer only the officer's direct questions. Scenario 3. The officer asks if you have any weapons. You must answer truthfully. Lying to a police officer is a crime. You say, yes, officer, I have a valid concealed carry permit. I am currently carrying. It's holstered on my person. How can I assist you? Would you like me to proceed? Notice the pattern. Language is consistent, professional, and non-threatening. You're not saying, I have a gun. You're saying, I am a licensed carrier. The difference is significant. One more thing. If the officer asks to search your vehicle, you have the right to say no. The Supreme Court has made clear that consent must be voluntary, and you can withdraw our consent at any time. A clear statement, officer, I do not consent to any search of my vehicle. That invokes your Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable searches and seizures. But remember, if the officer has probable cause, they can search without your consent. Don't physically resist the time to challenge. The search is in court. Let's go back to our body cam footage one more time. This is the clean version, the one where the driver said the right thing. Officer license and registration. Driver officer, I want to inform you that I have a valid concealed carry permit, and I am currently carrying. It's holstered on my right hip. How would you like me to proceed? Officer, thank you for telling me just. Keep your hands on the wheel. Where's your license, driver? In my wallet. In my back pocket, officer. Okay, back slowly and get it for me. Driver does so. The officer runs the license. It comes back with a warning, and everyone goes home safely. That's the outcome. Aiming for a routine stop that stays routine. The reality is that over 20 million motorists are pulled over every year in the United States. If you carry concealed, and you need to be prepared for that moment. You need to know your state's laws. You need to have a script ready, and you need to deliver that script calmly and professionally. The first sentence you say protects you, but only if you say the right thing. Now, here's something to think about for our next video. What happens when that routine traffic stop escalates into something more? When the officer asks you to step out, or when they start asking questions that go beyond the traffic violation? We'll break down exactly what your rights are, when to invoke them, and how to protect yourself without escalating the situation.